Hey, what's up, y'all? RJ here with CV Tech, and today I'm doing a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy J3 and the ZTE Warp 7. Let's get it started. Okay, y'all, so right now I got both phones here ready for comparison. On the left here we got the ZTE Warp 7. On the right got the Samsung Galaxy J3 Merge. And right now what we're going to do first of all is give them its boot up test to see which one goes to the main screen first. Both of them here are ready to go. Now here on the ZTE we have a 5.5 inch 720p display. And on the right, on the Samsung, we got a 5-inch 720p display. So right now, we're going to just wait for this here to do its thing, do its setup and everything, and see which one goes to the home screen faster. Then we'll go into a couple of specs to show you the differences between two phones, and we'll go from there. So, now I'll give you my thoughts on the phones, both of them. Both of them are really great phones. They don't really vary that much in price. The Samsung's already on, ready to go. And we're just sitting here right now waiting for the ZTE. Both of them differ about, right now, about $30 difference in price. And I will explain that here in a little bit. So now the ZTE is up, ready to roll. And first things first, we're going to go into CPU-Z. Just to kind of show you, and you can see right there, it looks like some of the apps are missing. Sometimes on some phones, when apps are on the SD card, they tend to do that, but they will show back up. So let's go into CPU-Z here, and CPU-Z here. And on the ZTE, we're running the 1.2 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 processor. It is a quad-core processor running a 306 GPU. With 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of onboard storage. Now go over here, you'll see it says 5.46 inches, 720 by 1280, a 268 DPI. Total RAM is 1912, and internal storage when you get it out of the box out of 16 is 10.42. Over here on the Samsung, it's a 1.4 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 425. With an Adreno 308 GPU with 1.5 GB of RAM and 16 GB of onboard storage. Scroll over here and you'll see stupid pop-up again. Screen is 5.01 inches, 720 by 1280. Screen is 293 DPI. Total RAM is 1354. Internal storage out of the box out of 16 is 10.41. So right there, pretty close together. So let's go home. And both of these here are set on 1x animations, just like from factory. So let's go ahead and go over here, and we will get in with this comparison. And we're going to make sure that everything is clear, and it is. Now both these here are in airplane mode because neither one of these phones right now are activated at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and get in with this comparison. Let's start up right now. The Warp 7. Yeah, the Samsung. That's about even. Let's check that one more time. Yeah, that was pretty even right there. Go into calendar. ZTE. Let's go into camera. ZTE a bit faster there. Go into Google Plus. Looks like that the ZTE took it. Let's go into IMDb. And it looks like that we have it there on the Samsung. I don't know. It's pretty close. Let's check that one more time because that had a little sign-in screen, of course, like always. Let's go look into IMDb one more time. That was pretty much even. Let's go into Instagram. ZTE, but they kind of both refreshed about at the same time. Let's go into the Play Store. Even. Let's go into Settings. ZTE. Let's go into Speed Test just to see which one pulls up faster. And that was about even, but the ZTE had a slight edge on it. Let's go into Twitter. Samsung had it there. Let's go into Temple Run 2 to start up with gaming here and just see which one starts up faster. It's pretty close. I was, I wasn't really sure. I've not run this test personally, so I'm kind of surprised to see that the ZTE is hanging with the Samsung. So pretty almost even there, different setups, but they're both updated, and you see the ZTE was a bit faster there. So this ZTE is hanging on pretty good. I mean, I've seen the Samsung hang or whip, phones with octa-core processors like the Samsung Galaxy J7. And I can't remember much about the X Power. I can't really remember about that, but just for this ZTE here is hanging on pretty good. So about even. The Samsung today just does not seem to want to play too good. I'm not really sure if it's what it is, but phones act different days. So it started up first here on the Samsung and started up here. And like I say, both of them though, they both play equally good. Both of them has really nice screens. Both screens on these phones look really nice. Of course, the camera cannot do it justice, but it works good. Everything seems to go just good and smooth and with no issues whatsoever. So let's go home here. Now we're going to go into Geekbench 4, and we'll also run this test here, a clean test. So you see, of course, 1.87 gigs of internal RAM and 1.32 gigabytes over here of RAM. So that does also make a difference. Let's go ahead and run these tests. Now, when that test here is running, when it comes to these two phones here, right now at Best Buy, you can currently get the ZTE Warp 7 for $49.99. Now, it's been on sale for that price for, a couple of weeks now, so I expect them to get off of sale before too awful long. Not really sure of any prices anywhere else. Not really sure what Boost Mobile's selling it for, if there's any kind of in-store promos or deals. I'm unsure of that. The Samsung Galaxy J3 Emerge is currently $79 at Walmart, which is a great deal as well. Along with the X Power is also $79. So you got all these phones here between the $50 and $80 mark that are really good phones. Now, when you compare the ZTE Warp 7 to the Samsung Galaxy J7, compared to these tests right here, and seeing how as the Samsung pretty much whooped the J7, when you got a phone here that's $50 versus the J7, that really the only benefits, in my personal opinion, between the J7 and the Warp 7 is an AMOLED display and a front flash and a better camera in general. You're going from $50 here for this phone to a phone that's $129 to $179. So it's really basically just, with the same size screen and everything. So just something to think about there, but this is not a J7 and Warp 7 comparison. This is the J3 Emerge and Warp 7, of course. So what I'm going to do right now is pause this up, let this here run, and I will come back. Okay, so the tests here are finishing up. We got 92% here, 84% here, but I wanted to make mention about the cameras right quick, like when this test here is running out. The ZTE has a 13 megapixel camera on the rear, with a 5 megapixel camera in the front, while the Samsung has a 5 megapixel camera in the rear and 2 in the front. You would think, wow, big difference, 13 to 5 and from 5 to 2. But honestly, cameras and good lighting, both of them are really good. However, in lower lighting, I would have to say that the Samsung is better than the ZTE. The ZTE takes great photos, great videos out and about in bright sunlight. It does fairly well in lower light. But I just personally like using the Samsung's camera. It's not bad. It's a good camera for what you're getting. It's much improved over last year's version, J3s. And they're just, it's a really good, both of them have really good cameras. But I would say, my personal opinion, for rear cameras being 13 megapixel to a 5 megapixel, there's not that much difference. I don't really take as many pictures as I used to with phones. Only certain times, I do. MTR, shout out to you. Share the video. So John from Magic Tech Review. Be sure to go over there and check his channel out. So now this is finally finishing up here, and we'll see the results. And there you go. Single score 506. Single score here is 506 608. And multi-core score is 1300 versus 1611. So quite a bit of difference there. I mean, like I said, these are just benchmark tests. They're going to differ. They're going to vary. But there is, 100-point difference in single score and 300-point difference in multi-core score. So, it is what it is. Yeah. Let's go ahead back out of here, and if I want to look at Antutu, if I run a test and it's already on here, I'll show you. If it's not, I ain't going to run another one. So we'll just look here and see if our score's already on them, and there is 28,633 here on the ZTE and 35,436. So it does outscore the ZTE in benchmark scores. However, you've seen the opening apps test. Now, of course, bigger apps, bigger games, you're going to see a difference. I have done reviews. Now, I've not done a complete review here on the Samsung, doing more intense gaming, nothing like that. Before I end this video, though, I am going to go into this here and do some, whatchamacallits, some reopening apps. So we'll reopen apps here. Had to reload J3. So yeah, ZTE. Calculator. ZTE barely. Calendar. Samsung. Maybe I may not have pushed it. Let's go in here again. Actually, we'll just skip calendar. We're going to camera. So ZTE. Go into Google Plus. Samsung. IMDb. Samsung. Back into Instagram. ZTE. Samsung. Go back into the Play Store. I get them confused sometimes. So Samsung there again. So reopening apps, it looks like the Samsung does. That's pretty close to there. But reopening apps, it does seem that the Samsung is, well, I kind of had to eat my words there, but that was the ZTE that won that one. If I'm getting any of these words wrong, please let me know. Let's see if I have to reload. Yes, they both have to reload here. I want to see which one starts up first, though, on this reload. I'm guessing it will be the ZTE. But, I have been surprised before, but you have to see there that it is loading up faster, and it'll probably it looks like it's going to win here, and it does. So there you go. You know, I mean, both of them are really nice devices. Both of them work really well, and it's basically all in what you want in a phone, to be honest with you. I mean, both of these phones here work great. There is really no real issue with either one of these phones. They're awesome. They work very well. And, you know, like I said, the price difference is, you know, $50 right now at Best Buy, $79 right now at Walmart. This does have a light for notifications, as you see it pulsating there. This phone does not have one of those. Of course, it does have a flash on the rear on both of them. Speakers on the bottom, back here, on the back, the bottom part of the phone on the ZTE. On the side here for much louder listening. But the ZTE Warp 7 is pretty loud itself, even with a speaker on the back. Because on the side or the bottom or on the front, it'd be very loud. But the design are great on both phones. Both phones are very, very easily to handle. Both of them feel very good in the hands. So I don't want to take any more time up on this video here, but if this was helpful in any way, hit that like button. I sure would appreciate it. Any questions or comments, leave it down below. I'll get back with you as soon as possible. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that subscribe button, and I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. See y'all in the next video.